Before that, I would like to share some of the solar PV products to you. I would like to pass one of the solar panels here. This is a mini-sized, this is not a normal one. I just asked the supplier to build a very small one for me for just teaching everybody solar PV panels. Most of the solar PV panels comes with about 1.65 meters times by 1 meter. But this one is much smaller. It's good for me for teaching. You may see that there's panels on the hardened glass on surface, and also connection cables at the back. This is a real one, but smaller one. So I can pass it to you, and you may take a look. And also, I can also pass some of these solar cell to you. Okay, don't worry that I'm sure that you will break it extremely easily. Don't worry, I got plenty of these. Okay, I would like to let you know that it's extremely easy to break. So don't worry about that. Okay, it doesn't worth much. So at least I would like to let you touch it and feel it. If someone would like to be an installer in the future, please try not to break it easily when you are installing a PV project. Okay. So before my presentation, I can pass these to you. Let's start my presentation then. My topic is the prospect and challenges of urban, not village or rural area. So I will focusing on the projects and how's the advantage and disadvantage when we are building a solar PV system in urban area. You may see that these are some of my projects, real projects in Hong Kong. For example, the left one, this is comes with 20 panels, about 20 panels in Kwun Tong, one of the industrial area, the rooftop of an industrial building. And another one, the middle one is a small sized PV system in Shangshui. It's located at the rooftop of Landmark North. You may easily come to that building, but not the rooftop. It comes with 36 panels on the rooftop. And the final one is one of the government projects located in Central, exactly in Central. All these are in urban area. I got still some of the other projects, but I just picked these 3 pictures. Let me talk about how good the advantage of building solar PV panels in urban area. For example, this is a building, an industrial building, just opposite my office. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm not, my location is not tall enough to see the rooftop, but I can see that there's a very good rooftop with more than 1,000 meters square, without any devices, any air conditioning. I would say it's a kind of waste. In my point of view, it can build a 100 kilowatt system with very good environment, and also there's no tall buildings at the north side, at the south side, east side, and west side. So I believe that we still have a lot of spaces in Hong Kong, especially in urban area, that we can build solar PV system. There's a lot of people nowadays in building solar PV system in village house, especially in Yuen Long, New Territories, Yuen Long, Tai Po. But those village houses are talking about 70 meters square in size on their rooftop. When we are building those, we may need to consume a lot of manpower to build each of those systems. However, if we build a system on an industrial building like that, let's talk about 100 meters square. 1,000 meters square area. We can focusing all my manpower to build that system, which is easier than building 10 of the village house. So most of the time, we build a big system like this would cost at least 20% lower than building 10 of the village house system. So I would encourage people, especially those commercial buildings, industrial buildings, owners, rooftop owner, to build solar PV system. At least they are not occupying the rooftop. In my mind, it's a kind of waste. Okay, so other than the cost is lower, I can tell you that by building solar panel system on the rooftop, it helps the temperature. If the temperature on this floor, on the floor lower than the rooftop, would be lower. The temperature. In my experience, the temperature would be 2 or 3 degrees Celsius lower than normal. So by 2 or 3 degrees Celsius lower than normal, the air conditioning energy consumption would be 50% lower than normal. So I highly recommend people to build solar PV system on rooftop. Okay, not only allow us to generate energy, but also helps to lower the energy consumption by air conditioning. Okay, so it's a kind of a benefit that generating energy, but also saving energy. However, we got those good things, but there are some challenges. I'm sorry, I just jumped to challenge. But those challenges I'm going to talk in this lecture are minors, I would say. Those minor challenges we can solve it. So don't really worry about the challenges. This is also a real case in Hong Kong, in Wong Tai Sin. A PV system not built by me, by my competitors. I shouldn't say that, but that's a real case I don't like. You may see that in Wong Tai Sin, this is a residential building. They build quite a lot of solar panels on it. It looks very good. By using a drone to take this picture, they fully occupy the rooftop. However, I don't like it. The reason is, I imagine that first of all, you know that the sun comes out from east, and at west. So in in our location, we should build solar panel facing south. I assume that you may understand this. Is it okay? We try to build solar panels facing south. That would help to maximize our energy generation. But if we got some tall buildings or building structure at east side or west side, it will create a shadow. A shadow will make the whole PV panel system, I mean the energy output would be dropped 90%. So in this case, if I assume that this is facing south, when the sun comes out, all these parts solar PV system would only produce 10% energy. So I would not suggest people, because there's some tall structure here that block the sunlight for all these part of solar panels. And also after afternoon time, when the sun goes to the west side, these tall structure would block the sunlight for these solar panels. It means that most of these solar panels would only produce less than 50% of energy in their life. It's not environmental protect. It's not environmental friendly. So I would suggest that in the future, if you are a person in this industry, try to on day one, you better find a good location without any structure blockage when on the location. Okay. In this case, I would only suggest to build solar panels here and here. I mean, facing, there's no shadows at east side, south side, and west side. It will help to produce as much energy as it can. Any question? You don't need to wait the questioning period. Okay, I go ahead. You may also, when you're building solar PV system, you may also need to think about the loading of the rooftop. Since most of the time we will not put a screw on the rooftop because it will damage the waterproofing layer of the rooftop. So most of the time we will build a concrete plinth on the rooftop and then put the mounting racks and solar panel on it. However, that concrete plinth got high level of weight. So before we build a solar panel system on the rooftop, we would ask the registered structural engineer to calculate the loading of the rooftop. Otherwise, I just worry that the rooftop may collapse. So please take in mind that you better find a good person to calculate that loading. Okay, I should show this slide to you earlier. as I just said about the One Thai Scenes project, I talk about the shadow. Everybody a lot of people may misunderstand that a shadow means nothing. It doesn't affect the solar PV system much, but actually no. For solar PV system, we need a very bright sunlight. The sunlight right now, I would say, it will only produce about 50% of the for the solar panels. Sometimes we may have a brighter sunlight. If there's a shadow on the solar PV system, the energy output would be 90% less. Even though only one panel in a 20 panels PV system. If there's a shadow for one panel, it will become a kind of black hole to draw all the remaining 19 panels energy to that panel. And the whole system would produce 90% less compared with its normal output. So please, don't think that in this picture, some people may think that, oh, the shadow only covered 10% of the solar panel. Oh, come on, it's okay, 10% is okay. Okay, I don't mind. Oops, actually, the whole system failed just because that 10% of shadow. That 10% of shadow will just draw the remaining 90% of energy to this solar cell, but not to the grid. So the performance output would drop a lot. So please, on day one, when we are doing a design, especially finding a good place to installing solar PV panel, please find a place without any shadows. Since I keep talking about shadows, so I can most of the time when there's some customer comes to me and tell me that he's living in Hong Kong Island, and then I will go nervous. I will keep asking them, where's your location? If your location is just behind the peak, then I would try to pursue him not to installing a system, because we got a high peak. The peak will create shadows even though your building is, your system is building on the rooftop, but not as tall as the peak. Then the peak will create a shadow for the system, and that shadow will make the PV system produce 90% less of energy. So please be alert that if we are going to install a system near the peak, okay, try to avoid it. I would try to avoid to building system along this area. Because the peak is at south side, so the peak will block the sunlight for the building in this area. And this is similar case in Kowloon, okay, but there's there's only few buildings at the north side of Lion Rocks. Okay, the financial burden when we are building PV system in urban area, we may need to think about this the feed-in tariff system. Have you heard about feed-in tariff system? First of all, do you know what is it? Sure.
They should have heard about it.
You know, feed-in tariff system. It's a kind of when you are building a PV system on the rooftop, you can sell the solar energy back to the utilities company, including CLP and Hong Kong Electric, for earning money. You know that, starting from the beginning of this year. However, if you find a rooftop, if you got a friend or whoever own a rooftop, and he's willing to let you install a system on the rooftop, but there may be an argument with you in the future, because all the money from CLP and Hong Kong Electric would goes to his account, not yours. You need to ask him to pay, to give it back to you. But if he is not willing to do that, then you got trouble. Since you already pay a lot for building the system, but he doesn't pay you back, then there's a trouble. Please make sure that you own the rooftop. I would highly recommend you to own the rooftop, and then those two companies will give the money directly to you. So the ownership is pretty important in my mind. But of course, there's some companies in Hong Kong willing to take a risk. They would like to just help people to build a solar PV system on the rooftop without asking any money in advance, and willing to pay for the installation, and the owner may need to give him back the money from feed-in tariffs. Also, you need to think about the legal perspective. According to the rules and regulations in building department, if you are going to build a PV system on the rooftop, the maximum height of the PV system is 1.5 meters height only. You may heard that the government has been released to the new territories village house to 2.5 meters height. You need to understand that 1.5 meters is about this height. But for village house, it's 2.5. At least you can barbecue on the rooftop in a village house with 2.5 meters height. I mean the mounting rack of the solar PV system. But in urban area, you are not allowed to build a mounting rack with 2.5, but only 1.5. So please make sure that you are only building the maximum height is 1.5 meters for urban area. I think it reflects it to the wind load for a tall building. When we, in Hong Kong, we got typhoon. For village house, there's only 3 stories. Then the effect of typhoon for blowing out the solar panel is less than a tall building in urban area. So you better, in urban area, please make sure that you are building a mounting rack with less than 1.5 meter. Also, if the building is more than 25 but less than 40 stories, make sure that your rooftop is not fully occupied by PV system. Only 50% of PV system can be allowed to build if a tall building like that. Okay? Those are minor challenges. I just let you know, but you don't really need to remember. But just let you know. This is a very frequent question from most of the engineers in government. They will always ask me, how's the glare? there may be complaint by neighborhood. They are thinking that solar panels create glare. People doesn't like glare from solar panel PV system. I can tell you that this is not true. May I ask about the solar panel? Okay, right there. Okay, I think all of you have been looked at the solar panel just now, right? You may see that when I'm facing the solar panel, I can look at I can see my face. You can see your face, right? But not clearly. Not clearly. Can somebody answer me why you can't see your face clearly on a solar panel? This is back to the science lesson when you are in elementary school, primary school. When your eyes look at something, the light goes to a table and then reflect your eye, right? This is science lesson in primary school. So everything comes with reflection. Otherwise, you can't see. I think there's at least one thing that has no reflection. What is that? Can you find something that's no reflection, zero reflection? At least there's one. No, your mobile got reflection. Otherwise, I can't see it. Anything you can see it with reflection. But at least there's one. You cannot see it. Air. Air. I can't see the air, right? So there's no reflection. You're right. Okay. Everything you can see means that there is reflection. Even though if I open this, even though a glass on the windows, sometimes some people may think that it's 100% transparency without reflection. Actually, no. If there's less sunlight, I can easily, if you go back to your home during night time and turn on the light, you can see that there's a reflection of light from your window, from the window. So it means that the glass on the window is not 100% transparency. There's still reflection. I can say that kind of reflection is about 20%. It means that there's about 80% transparency. Back to the solar panel. Okay. When you are looking at a solar panel, should I pass it back to you? You can't see your face clearly means what? Means that the reflection is very low. If the reflection is high, it means that you can easily see your face. Okay. A solar panel, the factor to make solar panels produce energy is not because of heat. The sunlight heat, no. It's totally wrong. is mainly due by irradiance, just sunlight. So we try hard, the manufacturers try hard to build a glass with high transparency rate but less reflection rate. So even though a solar panel, yes, I can tell you that most of the solar panels comes with 9.5% reflective rate, which is much lower than your Windows glass. And the transparency rate is, most of them are 90.5%. It will build an effect of like this, a white color, but not really shiny. But people may still complain. Even though you know, every building comes with windows. If you compare a solar panel's glare, then I can complain your windows glare is much higher than a solar panel. So I'm sure when we go to the judge court. But people still complain. Do you understand why? Because most of the people were facing a concrete surface before installing a solar panel. A concrete surface of the rooftop comes with reflection rate maybe 2%. But you suddenly build a solar panel with 9.5% reflection rate. It means that the reflection rate is 4 times higher than before. They may feel uncomfortable at the very beginning. So I used it to try to pursue people to please you will feel comfortable in maybe 1 month later, and please understand for the environmental yeah, it takes time. That's the way I do. So when you are facing a complaint by neighborhood about the glare, it's not really a factor, an issue for a long time. Okay, after 1 or 2 months, they will feel comfortable. Okay, but this is a kind of minor issue when you are building solar panels in urban area. Okay. Also, this is not for urban area, but whenever we build more and more solar panels, there's still there's still a lifetime for solar panel. But please keep in mind that we try hard to build solar panels with long lifetime. In this industry, we love a product that can last at least 25 years. A lot of people may judge that, there's a kind of electronic components. It may damage in 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. Since the air conditioning system in your home may malfunction in 2 years or maximum 5 years. So people may think that a solar panel may need to replace in 5 years. Oh, then that's not good. That's not environmental friendly. So the manufacturer for solar panels has been pretty mature, and most of the good manufacturers are able to build solar panels that can last at least 25 years. Please keep in mind that in this industry, we try hard to build a system that should run 25 years or even 40 years. So please keep in mind that 25 years, 25 years, 25 years. That's our standard. We should, a lot of people ask me about maintenance. There should be a maintenance cost, right? I don't agree. Okay, at least I'm now in this industry for 10 years. I have not maintained any of my system within this 10 years. Okay, a good system should run 25 years without any maintenance. This is a kind of environmental friendly. And of course, there's still one time the solar panels should be replaced maybe 30 years later, 40 years later. And there's some companies in Germany, in Japan, in the United States that help people to recycle the solar panels. So it's still good. In the future, we need to put more effort on education, and the technology, like today in education, we would like to tell you more and try to adjust and tell and a lot of misunderstanding about PV system. So I come here today, and also the technology is also growing around the world. The technology growing helps us to lower the cost as well. I can tell you that in 10 years ago, when I'm sourcing the solar panels from China or all around the world, the cost for each watt, a watt means a watt is a measure of energy. Okay, for example, this panel is about, I think, 5 watts. Okay, in 10 years ago, the cost for each watt is about $3 US dollar. When I was sourcing from manufacturer, but nowadays it's only 30 cents. It's 90% drops in cost. So it's good. The technology advancement helps us to build more and more solar PV systems in the world, and that's the issues by building PV system in urban area. But those issues I just mentioned are not so important. But just let you know. And that's it for today. Any question for the information I just told you? Actually, I can tell you more. The professor here also asked me to share my company's history to all of you, because it's a kind of sharing. But before that, any question about the technical side? Do you have any questions? No. Can I? I got one.
How much does it cost to install a solar panel in like a residential building or like Chingong?
Oh, okay. The cost. It can easily find it on the internet. Most of the companies in Hong Kong building a PV system with 10 kilowatts, which is about 30 panels. 30 panels on a village house, on the rooftop of the village house, that would occupy about 50% of this rooftop. The cost, I guess, should be about 150,000 Hong Kong dollar to 300,000 Hong Kong dollar. 300,000 Hong Kong dollar. It depends on the solar panels you choose. It depends on how difficult to install the panels on your rooftop. For example, if you would like to build a solar panels on a flat rooftop, it will cheaper than a system that built on a tile rooftop, like Hong Fairview Park. Those rooftops would be a bit difficult, since we need to build a scaffolding in order to climb up to the rooftop. So the cost of building is much higher than the cost of the solar panels itself nowadays, since the solar panels are much cheaper than before.
Well, assuming $300,000, how long is the payback period?
If
At $5 PV tariff.
Yeah, I think you got a mobile phone on hand, right? Can you turn on the calculation function? Okay. For 10 kilowatts, since according to Observatory Hong Kong, please don't misunderstand that we got 8 hours sunlight. We don't. We got cloudy days, we got rainy days. So according to Observatory Hong Kong, we got only 4 hours sunlight. But I would not say 4 hours. I would say 3 hours. Sometimes we got loss from the cables, loss from an inverter. So for 10 kilowatt system, you can 10 times 3 hours. 10 times 3 hours times $5 buyback rate from 2 utilities company. So you can get that amount for a day. May I ask how much is it for 1 day? Huh? 150. Okay, you can get 150 a day. Can you help me to times 365 days? How much is it?
54,750.
Okay, make it 54,000. It means that a 10 kilowatt system on a village house can earn 54,000 Hong Kong dollar. And since the system would last until 2033, it means that if I build a system today and it finished at the end of this year, it means that we still got 14 years to run this system and sell the solar PV energy back to 2 utilities companies. So 54,000 Hong Kong dollar times 14 years, how much is it? 54,000 Hong Kong dollar times 14 years. 766,000. Compare it with the cost.
300,000.
300,000. Oh, the house owner still got more than 400,000 profit, net profit. Okay, and I answer the question you just asked is, if it's 300,000 divided by 54,000 each year,
About 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, the returning period is about 6 years. Should be less than 6 years. It's good.
Yes. So provided that the owner owns the roof for more than 6 years.
Yes.
If it is a tenant, if it's a rental tenant, he will not consider doing that.
Yeah. If he's a tenant, then he may not able to live there for 6 years. Who knows? Yeah. So it will be attractive for house owner, rooftop house owner.
Only.
Yep. All right.
Any more questions?
Okay, let me share about my company. I'm not hard selling, since professor would like me to share my my struggling in this industry since 10 years ago. Today I got there's a lot of projects in Hong Kong, but I can tell you that in the past 10 years there's about 200 systems installed in Hong Kong. 200 systems. It means that only 20 systems for each year has been built in Hong Kong in the past 10 years. However, since this feed-in tariffs, we got, do you know how many cases we got in the past 1 year? Just 1 year. Have you read it from newspaper? I can tell you that there's more than 4,300 up to September. So in the last 10 years, we got only 200 cases. But in the past 1 year, we got more than 4,000. There's a lot of solar PV system going to build, and they already applied. In this industry, it expanded quite fast in the past 1 year. But in 10 years ago, I'm a poor guy. Okay, since there's very few systems. But the reason why I was stepped in this industry because my brother-in-law who live in Canada, Ontario, Canada, he got a message from governments that they are going to have feed-in tariffs in Ontario, Canada, in 10 years ago. It means that the same situation in Hong Kong nowadays. So he asked me to help him to buy some, to source some PV panels and accessories from China and send it to Canada. So we just start in 10 years ago, but he's doing good, but I'm not. Since the market it was not a small market, but with a very tiny market in Hong Kong at that time, without any support from government. So I try, but I still need to survive. At that time, it's extremely difficult for me. But anyway, I'm doing good things. So I understand that the people are still need solar PV products in all over the world. So at that time, most of my customers are boat owners. They need energy when they are in the sea. And there's no household because the payback period is more than 50 years. So at that time, I don't have household customer. Another customer helps me to survive is eBay buyer. Yes. In 10 years ago, I sold a lot of PV products to all over the world by eBay. Okay, at that time I earned about at least 10,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. Not so much, but at least I can survive. I'm not stealing money from anybody. I'm doing a good business. I can feed myself. My workload is very low. I just spend 1 hour a day to pack the solar products, the PV products, and goes to the post office and send it to all over the world. The reason a lot of people who knows me will understand that I was pretty struggle at that time. And nowadays I'm good. And the reason professor asked me to tell more about myself in this lecture because a lot of students may worry about how's their future after graduation. But I can tell you that don't worry. Okay, you're good. At least all of you got a mobile phone all of you understand internet, all of you understand computer. Now, all people like us, as may always telling you that it's extremely difficult to start a business nowadays because the rent is so high, the labor cost is so high. Okay, I would not suggest you to start a business at this time. Okay, the cost is so high, the risk is so high. Okay, you better find a job, not start a business. But I would highly recommend all of you to not find a job after you graduate. Try your best to start a business not when you are graduate, but today. Today, even though you are still in university, you can easily open an account in eBay, in Taobao, and sell the products to China and all over the world to support yourself. And afterward, that's your business. Why you need to be a labor of a company? Why don't you start your own business? When you are opening an account on internet, does it cost money? It doesn't cost me a penny. When I set up an eBay account 10 years ago, it cost me nothing. I can tell you that I only spent $2,000. That's my initial setup fund 10 years ago. I didn't got a lot of money to set up my own business. I only got $2,000 at that time to buy a little bit, a sample from manufacturer, and take a picture and put it on eBay. As I remember, after 5 days, only 5 days, I got an email and telling me that, oh, somebody in France bought my product. Oh my God. And then I sold that sample to that customer. As I remember, I earned 100. After a couple months, I keep doing that, and then I asked my manufacturer to send more and more and more products to me. After a couple months, I'm selling more and more, and I don't really. At that time, I'm running my own business with a shop, with a very small shop in Yau Ma Tei, just beside a staircase of a old building. Can I say it in Cantonese? 係一個樓梯底嘅鋪頭. The size of that shop is only 3.4 meters square. That is about this size. I started my business with this area, but at that time the market is so tiny. So I'm not only selling solar PV system in Hong Kong, but also all over the world. I need to survive. But it's for me, it's easy to put the products on internet. And that helps me a lot. I just spend 1 hour a day to, actually not 1 hour, only 30 minutes a day to pack the products and go to the post office. And I earn 8,000 Hong Kong dollar, 10,000 Hong Kong dollar a month. That's okay, why not? So before you graduate, should I ask them to do that? You may start your business as soon as possible. Okay? Don't worry about the future. Just don't think too much, but please start your work.
Just do it.
Yeah, and what you need to do is try to be a good person. try not to lie to your customer. My business is doing pretty good. In 5 years ago, in the first 5 years, it was pretty painful. Even though I'm earning, as I just said, I can earn 10,000 from eBay a month, including about 5,000 only profits from local market. I can only got 15,000 a month. That's good in my mind. At least I don't need to work every day. I don't need to go to work at 9 o'clock and every day and leave office at 11 p.m. Okay, I can go to work at 10 and leave at 6. Anytime I would like to take a holiday, I can take holiday. I'm the owner of the company, so it's good. It's I love to be an entrepreneur. So I encourage every one of you to start your own business. But it's struggling. Sometimes I lose money. Sometimes I'm not earning a lot. But 15,000 a month is not enough for me. When I need to pay the rent, when I got a baby, my son is 7 years old nowadays. And 7 years ago, I got my son, and 50,000 is not enough. So, but anyway, I still need to be a good person. The reason my business is better and better is because I'm a good person, and I keep doing so much to the customer. Nowadays, most of my customers are government engineers. Okay, they worry about the product is good or not, the system is good or not. My point of view is I'm not selling solar PV system, but trying to sell a good opportunity for them to promote himself in the organization. So by doing that, they are keep telling people that whenever you want PV system, you better find William. And that makes me business. That makes my business better and better. But anyway, we should be the good person. Try, even though a lot of people telling you that be a businessman, you should lie to your customer. You try hard to hard sell your customer. Try hard to hidden the bad thing of your product. No. I keep telling the good thing and bad thing. If the location, like I just mentioned, in Wong Tai Shin is not good, I would just simply tell the customer that you should not install PV system in that location. Okay, but I think all of you can do that. Is it difficult for you to not lying? I think it's easy, right? What you need to do by being an entrepreneur is just be a good person. And I can tell you that even though a lot of people saying that this is the most difficult time for starting a business because the cost is so high, the risk is so high, but in my mind, this is the best, the most easy period in human history to start a business, because there's no cost to set up an account on internet. Okay, try not to set up a shop or an office. You don't need to. Okay, so yeah. Don't think about the future. Just do your work today. Okay. I think.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Well, I think we have to thank William a lot for his information on the solar and setting up a business. I think we'll all be inspired.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.